on a beautiful Wednesday evening in Orlando, Florida. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN as the UCF Knights, ranked 22nd in the country, host the Stetson Hatters. And we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Eric Lopez alongside UCF Knight All-American Jada Cody. Jada, the Knights are coming off a West Coast trip where they win 2 out of 3 in Tempe against Arizona State. And they did it with their power, and they did it with starting pitching.
Yes, and I think it's really big. Losing the game 1 down on that and coming back, and they couldn't stay quiet. And here it is, just a home run trio. Beth Damon leading it off with a long ball to right field, and Yarnell wanted a piece of it too. And that wasn't all as well as CC Humphrey wanted a piece of that as well. And you really just see how well the Knights are explosive when their bats are just really in it to win the game. And not only that, but game 3, they won it a different way with Isabella Vega, Vintage Vega, 9 complete games this season, a career high for her. She had a complete game with 7 innings, only allowing 2 hits and 1 strikeout. So Isa doing a great job, coming off hot, and we can see what they're gonna do today, Wednesday, against Stetson.
Knights, of course, now will host their in-state rivals, the Stetson Hatters. They've had some memorable games, including last year in one of the wildest games of the year in college softball. Knights Hatters will have the first pitch, starting lineups when we return. Take a look at this Stetson Hatters lineup, hitting .316 as a team, 63rd in the country in hitting. Of course, Annabella McLaren will lead it off with Garcia second. Of course, all eyes on Nicole Edmondson, who's having a monster season. 19 home runs. The next home run she hits will tie the Stetson school record for most home runs in a single season. And, of course, she'll be followed by Amber Chumbley, Gamby David, Nadia English getting the start at third base, Gabby Bauer behind the plate with Madeline Sonoraki at second base, and then Napoli playing at right field, hitting 9th for this Hatters offense, who will be facing the senior Lena Elkins.
Yes, Lena Elkins getting the start today against Stetson. She's going to be really down in the zone with her changeup, so just being aggressive, commanding the each side of the plate and letting her changeup work. She will go to that changeup any count, so just really excited to see what she has today in the mound.
Elkins coming off a fantastic relief appearance to get the win on Saturday and against Arizona State. Getting the start here. You look at her numbers for the senior, of course, on this Wednesday evening for UCF. Start of an important week here at home as UCF will host Kansas in Big 12 action this weekend. Look at the Knights defense. Of course, Zoe Calvis at right field with Samantha Ray at center. Izzy Mertez at left with Coco Jaimes at third base. Aubrey Evans at short. Sierra Humphreys at second. Ashley Griffin at first. Cheyenne Irvin catching Elkins. Glad you could join us wherever you are. As the first pitch as we're underway is ball one, 1-0 the count to Annabella McLaren, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida. Hitting .326, 3 homers, 19 RBIs on the year for the right-handed hitting McLaren. Missed there low, 2-0 the count. It's a Stetson team. There you see Shelly Cousins, the head coach, of course, an All-American at USC Upstate. Has been with the Stetson program since 2019 when she came in to be an assistant under Frank Griffin, of course, a DeLand native. Was on the D1 softball top 25 mid-major greatest hitters of this quarter century. And there you see Cindy Ball-Malone, who was on the D1 softball top 25 greatest mid-major pitchers of this quarter century. As Elkins has fallen behind here, 3-0 against McLaren. There's a strike, it's 3-1 the count. Of course, these two teams played in a wild game last year where UCF came from an 11-run deficit down to win 14-13 up in DeLand. 3-1 pitch. Low ball 4 and a walk to McLaren to start this game.
And McLaren just doing a great job, just doing what the team needs and seeing pitches from Elkins so she can pass the bat. That's just something that Elkins just need to learn early in the game, getting ahead in the count, and that's just something that growing and when she's getting more experience now, especially that Vega giving her a break so they can use her this weekend. But this is something Elkins can really use to continue the long season that they have coming up.
Renis Garcia takes a strike, the left-handed hitter. Sophomore to St. Pete, Florida. Hitting .372 on the year with 9 homers, 27 RBIs. The 0-1 from Elkins. Away, ball 1-1 the count. What makes playing Stetson so tough? You've played against them throughout your career.
Yes, I think just coming, it's always a midweek game, so coming off hot, a 3-game series against someone in conference and then playing them, they're a feisty team year after year, so I think that's a hard part of not a ranked team, but they're so feisty and they're so competitive, and you have to have that mindset of competing against them like they're top 25 any year. So I think Stetson does a great job of competing against UCF, and it's a great game every year.
The last 3 meetings have been decided by 1 run, and it's decided on the last at-bat. That's how tight that's been between these 3 teams. Stetson coming in on top of the A-Sun Conference. Of course, they're in 2 divisions. They'll play West Georgia this weekend at home, but they're trying to chase down an A-Sun championship. 2-1 pitch, check swing foul, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to count here in the top of the first. Carlos Guzman is your home plate umpire with William Paulette at first base and Eric Salgado at third base on this 83-degree plus Wednesday late afternoon, early evening. 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Of course, the Knights been trying to find that consistent number 2 starter behind Isabella Vega with the injury to Hildy Dempsey.
Yes, and I think you got a glimpse of it last week when Reagan Raccoon as well as Elkins coming in, bases loaded, no outs coming out of that jam. So you definitely see the potential for Raccoon as well as Elkins and kind of having that support, especially that Hildy is out this season due to an injury. So I think it's really important the end of the rest of the season of really finding that number 2 and 3 if they want a long run in postseason, potentially as well as going to with their goal of hosting as well as going to the World Series for the first time in program history.
3-2 the count. Well, it's a slow grounder. Aubrey Evans will throw to first, not in time. Garcia beats it out. It's an infield hit, 2 on, nobody out for Stetson here in the first.
And Garcia just doing whatever it takes, using her speed, getting down, and Evans kind of just sitting back on it a little bit, knowing that Garcia has speed, and now it's first and second with no outs, and Nicole up.
The most dangerous hitter in the lineup, Nicole Edmondson, the junior from Illinois, steps in. With 2 on, nobody out here against Elkins. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Edmondson coming in with a .460 average. That's 28th in the country, 6th in the country with 19 home runs, 14th in the country with 58 RBIs. But she hits here with 2 on, nobody out. The 0-1 from Elkins. Did she hold her swing? They say yes. It's a count of 1-1. So a ball and a strike to count to Edmondson. It was a transfer out of Florida Southwestern Community College. Has always shown to power. There's a strike in the corner, 22.
And I think for Edmondson, just really making that switch from the community college to D1, she is doing a great job. And Elkins really just knowing Nicole has a great bat behind her and she can swing for power. So really knowing that, especially in this count, being that it is first and second with no outs.
Try to go outside away on Edmondson, and it's 2-2. A walk and a single here to start for the Hatters. Two-two pitch from is away, 3-2. Big pitch coming here as Elkins has gone away here against Edmondson. Knight's bullpen will be up. This could be a bullpen game today for UCF. That's outside, just missed, ball 4. Something Edmondson has gotten used to, a walk, and they're loaded here with nobody out. That'll bring up now Amber Chumley to the plate. The sophomore hitting .323, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs for the left-handed hitter. Chumley, the sophomore out of Punta Gorda, Florida. And not before Coach Paul Malone will come out here and try to settle down, I think, Lena Elkins, as you look at the bullpen there for the Knights. Tori Payne on the left and Vokun is on the right for the Knights bullpen.
And I just think this is so important, trying to find the second and third ace behind Vega in this situation of not giving up freebies. And I think Stetson is a great team, knowing that they're aggressive, coming out already with 2 walks. So I think just Elkins having that mentality, especially her having experience in an upperclassman, of really honing in and going after Edmondson and allowing her to get the out on that. So I think that's big. And this can definitely be an opportunity for UCF to use their bullpen of finding out their second and third ace when they have behind Vega tonight.
To try to get some innings, because ideally you'd like not to use Vega today, knowing you got the Big 12 series with Kansas coming up this weekend here at home.
And I think that's just what's so hard about the midweek game. You don't want to burn your ace out because you do have a 3-game series coming up. And these games are important, the end of conference play. So I think this is where UCF really can just put their head down and grind when it comes to the pitchers and who's going to support Vega.
Chumley fouls it off there. The count is 0-1 to Chumley. Bases loaded, still nobody out here at the top of the first. There you see Tori Payne warming up. Vegas watching on the background there in the bullpen. The 0-1 from Elkins. Fouled off again, and Chumley's down an 0-2 count. So 0-2 the count. Time call. Knights playing normal depth defensively. The 0-2 pitch. Away, ball 1. So a ball and 2 strikes to Chumley here, left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher Elkins. 1-2. Got her. Ooh, just got a piece of it, I should say, to stay alive. That was close.
That would have been good on Cheyenne's part. She would have came up on that. And just as a catcher, that is just a hard play to make. But when you make those plays, the pitcher is firing you up on that.
1-2. Hit up the middle and through, base hit. That'll get a run in. They'll hold the runner at third. It's a RBI single, and it's 1-0 Stetson here in the early going. So you looked like you had the strikeout there, Jada, but Irvin didn't hold on to it, and Stetson makes him pay.
And Chumley just doing a great job just going up the middle on that pitch, scoring the run, doing whatever it takes to be the first to score. And I think that's going to be big for the Hatters today. And like you said earlier, that it comes down to last out, last run. So that's going to be really big the rest of this game.
And a strike, and the count is 0-1. 0-1 the count to Gabby David. Still bases loaded, still nobody out here in the first. There's a strike, it's 0-2. Bases are still loaded too, with nobody out here in the first inning. The 0-2. Just missed, ball one. That was close.
And I like that spot. 0-2 pitch on that. And I think that Elkins does a great job of really just expanding the zone and letting the hitter try to get herself out on that and just inches from being a strikeout.
There's a strikeout. Because the bases are loaded, they don't have to throw to first. So Irvin, they get the strikeout. One gone here in the first.
And Elkins just doing a great job using her off-speed pitch on this and really just developing that. That's what she's going to live off of down in the zone, and using her changeup in any count is going to allow her to be an elite pitcher and something that the UCF Knights needs.
Nadia English, right-handed hitter at the plate. Could hold her swing there. Count is 0-1 to English, the junior out of Melbourne, Florida. Hitting with still bases loaded and one out. Here in the top of the first. The 0-1 pitch from Elkins. It's there, 1-1. '30th pitch coming up here from Elkins in the first inning. That is hit to right field, and it is a foul ball. Foul ball is the call. Calvis Joe, but it's a foul ball. Fortunate for the Knights that it went foul there. That would have might have cleared the bases, Jada. That goes fair.
Yes, and Calvis just going all out on this play.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And just inches away from it being fair.
Keep in mind, you cannot challenge a foul ball call. You can only challenge a fair ball call. 1-2. Just missed there. 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, the count to English. She jams her, pops it up. Elkins makes the catch. Two gone here in the first.
And Elkins just doing a great job just settling in, using both sides of the plate, just jamming her and taking it herself.
Going to bring up Gabby Bauer, the freshman out of Portland, Oregon. Part of the talented young freshman class that Coach Cousins has brought in. As the first pitch, a strike, it's 0-1 the count. You see Shelly Cousins, a DeLand native, of course, an All-American at USC Upstate, played professionally. Coming off a 35-win season last year. They're in the mix for the ASUN Championship. The 0-1. Foul back. Currently in first place in their division. The ASUN has 2 divisions. You got Central Arkansas leading in the other division. Stetson's got West Georgia at home this weekend. Then Jacksonville, a team there in the mix as well for the ASUN championship in 2 weeks in Jacksonville. Oh, 2 the count. Got her. A strikeout for Elkins, who does a nice job minimizing the damage. Stetson had bases loaded and nobody out in this inning. Settle for a run. They lead 1-0. Knights coming to the plate when we return.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Allow yourself to tune out. To tune into nature. To tune in to the outdoors. To tune in to what matters. Discover Lake County, Florida. Learn more at discoverlakefl.com.
Have you ever wondered if there was a place where access to excellence isn't guarded by ivy, but open to all who strive for greatness? Where education leads to more than a degree, it opens the door to a career and a better life. Where imagination ignites invention and innovation, and the boundaries between science and creativity converge. That place is here, the University of Central Florida, a place for those who dare to invent the future.
Let's take a look at this Knights lineup. It'll be Samantha Ray to lead it off for UCF, followed by Aubrey Evans. Batting second, Izzy Mertez in left field. Beth Damon, DAP. Hitting cleanup, Sierra Humphreys. Batting fifth, Ashley Griffin. Batting sixth, Coco Jaimez. Batting seventh, Zoe Calvez. Hitting eighth with Cheyenne Irvin. Hitting ninth for the Knights as Beth Damon, you look at her numbers this year for the sophomore out of Oklahoma. They'll be facing Ava Braswell, the sophomore out of Brooksville, Florida, who delivers the first pitch for a strike. Here to Samantha Ray, hitting in the leadoff spot as Braswell gets the ball for the Hatters.
Yes, and Braswell, just a sophomore, getting the start today. She will be in all parts of the zone, up and down and side to side in the low 60s, and will use an off speed as well. So really just finding a way to keep this UCF offense off balance to have them be successful against the Knights today.
Ray hitting .387 this year for the junior. Hits a high fly ball, but playable into center field. Shallow as the catch is made by McLaren as Ray is retired for the first out of the inning. Look at the Hatter defense with McLaren at center, with Chumley at left and Napoli at right. With English at third, Garcia at short, Sonoraki at second, Edmondson at first, and Bauer catching for the Hatters. Aubrey Evans to the plate. The senior from Apopka steps in. Swings at the first pitch, slices it foul down to right field for Evans, who's hitting .324, 8 homers, and 29 RBIs on the season for Aubrey. Who comes into this ball game with 185 career hits. 43 of those are doubles. Puts her in a tie for third place all-time in doubles. One is a strike, going to the count. The only player she's tied with Jasmine Esparza currently in third place with 43 doubles.
And that's Braswell's just doing a great job on that off-speed pitch coming in on Evans, and that's what they need. Braswell will need to do just to keep the Knights offense off balance today.
Called the ball there, 1-2 the count. The two players Aubrey's behind, Janae Shinhoster with 50 career doubles. And then the all-time leader, my broadcast partner here with 55. Evans tomahawks a ball to left. It'll stay in the park as the catch is made by Chumley. 2 up, 2 down here in the first inning. And bring up Izzy Mertez to the plate. The sophomore hitting .325 with 10 home runs and 47 RBIs on the season. Mertez, first pitch, takes a strike. One of the big questions for UCF is how would they come out here having played on the West Coast in Tempe, Arizona, making the quick flight back Sunday night. Here you got a midweek in Florida. You know, they adjusted back to being in the East time zone and all that. That was something they struggled with last year, Jada. I'm talking to Coach Paul Malone last year when they went to Arizona. Had a connecting flight, didn't go as smooth, and they scuffled there that following weekend.
Yes, I think it's just hard being Big 12 has expanded so far. You're going to the West Coast, a 2 to 3 hour time difference, and then coming back, having a day off, having practice one day, and then kind of getting back out into it. And it's a lot, especially in the middle of the season towards the end. Your body's tired, and you really just have to kind of turn a different gear on of knowing that you have to win these games. These are so important if you're trying to achieve your goal of hosting, as well as going to Super Regionals again, and then eventually going to the World Series. So it's a lot on your body as well. And then not only that, but you still have schoolwork as well. So there's so many factors to play into it as well.
Count is full, 3-2 the count. Here to Izzy Mertez.
Braswell just doing a great job going inside and outside with this off-speed pitch.
Mertez, ground ball to Garcia. Short throw to first in time to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Braswell and the Hatters. We're through one complete here in Orlando. Stetson with a 1-0 lead. Coach of the Hatters, and for more on her, let's go down to our third member of her team, and Berkeley Mezzanotte. Berkeley, you got more on Shelley.
I do. So Coach Cousins, obviously she grew up in DeLand, so she knows the competitiveness of growing up in the Florida pipeline. She said, it made me better. We played every day. We played in the Sunshine State, so there was really any rainy days. And she said, I also grew up in a competitive household with 3 older brothers. 2 played football, 1 played baseball at Limestone. So essentially, we watch ball together all the time. So it made me better and made me love softball even more.
Thank you very much, Berkeley. Meanwhile, Sonoraki just popped up to Coco Jaimez there for the first out here in the second inning.
Elkins just getting it done, 1 pitch. And this is when it's going to need to stop the Hatters, already being 1-0 second inning of quieting down the Hatters offense.
Napoli now, the number 9 hitter at the plate, takes a strike. And of course, I talked to Shelly Cousins, DeLand native. I joked with her, like, have you ever met Chipper Jones, who's probably the most famous DeLand native, for, of course, a Hall of Famer with the Atlanta Braves in Major League Baseball? She's like, no, he had never met. He did throw out a first pitch one time at Stetson baseball. But she's done a magnificent job, came in as an assistant for Frank Griffin, took over after Frank Griffin's retirement, and has done a magnificent job building this program up. Development is such a big part of their process, and building these players up and getting the most out of them. with the limited resources that they have, and it's been working for them. And here they are this year with a tough non-conference schedule where they went to Oregon, they went to North Carolina to play in tournaments, trying to battle test their team, trying to get this program back to the NCAA tournament. And she's doing it the right way, and I think she's one of the more underrated hitting coaches and developing hitters.
Yes, and their stats really shows how well she's doing with this offense. Their number speaks for itself, and year after year, they're just feisty, competitive, and she's doing everything it takes to get them back to the NCAA offseason. I think she's just doing a great job. She's getting transfers from, if it's JUCO, community college, as well as young players coming in from freshman year all the way up, developing those players. So she's doing a great job of developing this team, and it shows year after year under her.
Payoff pitch. Napoli gets jammed and fouls it off. Of course, she had an incredible career at USC Upstate, where she still holds a bunch of records. Was an All-American there, a two-time ASUN Player of the Year winner, and should be a future ASUN Athletics Hall of Famer at some point. Not sure how all that stuff works, but you look at her resume, it's a no-brainer. Napoli delivers a base hit past Ray into center field. And Napoli's going for three. The throw from Humphreys. The third is in time. She's out. Napoli gunned down by Sierra Humphreys for the second out here in the second inning. Great relay by the Knights.
And Ray just going all out on this play and just delivering the package to Sierra Humphrey. And that is just what the Knights defense knows how to do. And just having that relay coming out, picking Ray up as well as Elkins. And that's just a way to quiet the Hatters offense today.
McLaren at the plate at the top of the order now for the Hatters. That is a magnificent relay. And Humphreys with the play there, second base. She continues her stellar play on her defense. She comes into this game #1 in the country among second basemen in defensive runs saved, with a 9.91 runs average saved this year. In other words, comparing her to another second baseman, she has saved 9 more runs in her spot than any other second baseman would be in that situation if you put another second baseman in that spot. Pretty good.
And I think that's big. If you weren't tuned in the past few years with Cece, being that she was a third baseman and Coach Bear moved her over to second base, and her putting up those stats, defense and as well as offense. So she's doing a great job her junior campaign. And it's so exciting just to see her flourish as my little sister, I would say, playing third base together when I was here. And so she's doing a great job, and she has a strong arm, especially her being a third baseman moving over to second. And her and Evans doing a great job up the middle, turning double plays, just keeping the pitchers' confidence high because they're making plays for the pitchers.
Of course, Ray and Humphreys play, of course, together, both juniors, part of that class. And both of them have been compared to you, Jada, and Shannon Doherty as far as that 1-2 punch of that group of players that lead the team by example. The 2-2. Line in a base hit into left field as McLaren gets on for the second time in this ball game. She walked in the first and singles here with 2 outs here in the second.
McLaren just going with that pitch, hitting in the 5-6 hole to keep the rally up with 2 outs and just passing the bat.
That'll bring up Garcia now to the plate, who singled in her first inning. She hits here with 1 on, 2 outs here in the second against Elkins. That's outside. This is the part of the lineup you go with McLaren, Garcia, Edmondson, Chumley. They all can hit. Power, explosive. That's what makes that Napoli play so big. There's a run maybe scores on that play. The 1-0. Inside runner goes. Throw by Irvin is in time. She's out. McLaren is gunned down for the third time this year, courtesy of Cheyenne Irvin, who throws out McLaren. Knights defense showing off here in the second. We head to the bottom of the second.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Introducing SportsCenter for you. Personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Goes Calvis, throw it. Bringing a run. We got a double. Big conference. You call it a foul. That's the third. Great defensive. Shockey in the second. Making 12 up.
Base runner.
Right, coming off.
Terry.
Welcome back. Stetson has challenged the call on the field whether McLaren was thrown out at second base. The call on the field was she was thrown out at second base. Here's a look at what they're looking at here. Jada, what do you see what we can find here? Evans with the tag.
Ooh, that's a bang bang play.
Does the foot touch the bag before Evans makes the tag? Here's another angle. These are angles that the umpires have as well. Here's one they're looking at right here. Right there, you see the tag. Is the foot on the bag or not? It's got to be conclusive. Keep in mind the call on the field was out. You see anything there conclusive, Jay?
I feel like that's hard to really change that call from it being out already.
Right there, is the foot on the bag, or is there still space between the foot and the bag? And then the tag. Well, they have done looking at it. Do you think they stay with the call?
I think they stay with it.
We'll see now. They look. If they stay with the call, the inning is over. If they overturn it, Stetson will have a runner at second with 2 outs in the second inning. Here's the call.
After review, the play stand, runner side.
Good call, Jada. So Stetson down to 1 challenges. Now the inning is officially over. Knights will come to the plate when we return. Here at the bottom of the second, watching on ESPN Plus. Knights coming to the plate. It'll be Beth Damon to lead it off, followed by Sierra Humphreys and Ashley Griffin. 4-5-6 for the Knights against Ava Braswell. For Stetson, the sophomore to Brooksville, Florida. Eric Lopez alongside Jada Cody and Berkeley Mazzanotti. And Damon steps in. Sophomore hitting .358, 12 home runs, 40 RBIs. DP in here to start this game. The Knights want to kind of give her some break from catching from time to time with the wear and tear that position, certainly provides.
And I think that's going to be important towards the end of the season of giving her some breaks right now. So she's fresh in postseason, and it really takes a big toll on your body, not just as catching, but as well as offense. So I think this is really Irving kind of gaining that experience. I think that's going to be so important for Damon to be successful in postseason and allowing other catchers to get time as well behind the plate.
Ball and a strike to count to Damon. Fouls that pitch off. The count is 1-2. The Knights come into this ball game hitting .328. That's 45th in the country in hitting, with 57 home runs, tied for the program record in a single season as a team with home runs, tying the 2021 team. And Damon lines it to left, foul. You were part of that 21 team that set the record with 57 home runs. You contributed to that?
Just a little bit. Just a little.
You remember who was the leader in home runs that year on the team?
No, I don't remember. Who was it?
We'll let it ponder there for a moment. A ball and 2 strikes. Damon, ground ball deep in the hole. There's the third baseman, throw to first in time. A nice job by English making the play. 5-3 on the ground out as Damon is retired for the first out here in the second inning. Sierra Humphreys will come to the plate, and Berkeley, you got more on Cece.
I do. You guys were telling me, how she's been versatile on the field, but she gives all that credit to her mom, Krista, teaching her and her sister, KK, for being versatile on the field. And she said one of her favorite memories with her sister, KK, is that they got too competitive one time playing backyard softball together, and it got to the point where they didn't talk for 3 days. Cece ended up saying something first along the lines of, "Hey sis, are you still mad at me?" So you can imagine the competitiveness in the Humphrey household.
She ground ball to short. Garcia's there, throw to first in time for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. Garcia, by the way, comes into this ballgame 5th in the country among shortstops in defensive runs saved, 10.24. So she is one of the better shortstops. In fact, we got 2 of the top 5 shortstops in the country in defensive runs saved, with Garcia at Stetson and Aubrey Evans with UCF. Evans ranked 3rd in the country coming into this week. Griffin at the plate, takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. To answer your question, Jada, it was a tie. It was a tie between Shannon Doherty, who had 11, and Georgia Blair. Both had 11. You made up for it the following year when you hit 15. Griffin hits one to right, but playable as the catch is made by Napoli to retire the side. If Braswell has retired the first 6 nights here in Orlando, we're through 2 here on this Wednesday evening at the Plex. Here in Orlando, Stetson with a 1-0 lead. It'll be Garcia, Edmondson, and Chumley. 2, 3, 4 to hit for the Hatters. With Garcia, who was at the plate in the second inning when McLaren was thrown out at second base to end the inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count to Garcia. Such a valuable player on this Hatters team. Second in the team in hits coming into this ball game. Great defensive glove at short. And just a sophomore, part of this young Hatter team that you look at the A-Sun Conference right now. Of course, the defending champions is the North Florida Ospreys. Jeff Conrad and company coming off winning 2 out of 3 against Stetson in Jacksonville. They will be the host for the A-Sun Championships this year. They will be coming here next week to play UCF. We got Stetson, who's certainly a favorite. Florida Gulf Coast, who we saw here a couple weeks ago with Lindsey Fico and company. It's missed there for a ball 2-1. Central Arkansas has been playing well. They're in the mid-major top 25 rankings in D1 softball, as is Stetson. Eastern Kentucky's coming off a sweep against North Alabama. The 2-1 pitch here from Elkins. Hit to the right side of Griffin, who makes the catch. One gone here in the third as Griffin makes the play. Talked about defense, of course. Ashley Griffin, first base, comes into this ball game ranked 11th in the country in defensive runs saved for a first baseman. But she watches Nicole Edmondson now at the plate. There's a strike. The count is 0-1. You look at this infield, Jada, with Aubrey Evans, mentioned top 3 in the shortstops and defensive runs saved. Sierra Humphreys #1 in second base. Ashley Griffin 11. And then Coco at third base, whose defensive runs saved is over 7 runs, which for a third baseman is around the top 30-35 mark. Pretty strong infield for the Knights here.
And I think that it's really big that what Coach Bear really speaks on is defense wins championship. And having young pitchers on the mound is really big for the UCF defense as well, protecting their pitchers. They're going to give up hits, but how can we collect outs? You need 21 outs in the game, so how can we collect those outs? And that Coach Bear has honed on that year after year of defense wins the championships. The long balls will come, clutch hitting will come, but the defense is the most important. I think that shows on how well the UCF infield, but especially the whole defense is when it comes to that.
2-1 pitch. Edmondson delivers a single to right field. A 1-out single for Nicole Edmondson. Hitting .460 on the year coming in, and now he's 1 for 1 here tonight with a single.
Edmondson just staying with that pitch, going with it, hitting the 3-4 hole, and just passing the bat. And her numbers really just speaks for herself of being so well of hitting all parts of the zone and why she's so aggressive and her numbers are so well.
Chumley now at the plate. Takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Right now it looks like Nicole Edmondson and probably Bree Howard of Austin P are your 2 front runners for A-Sun Player of the Year. Both have had magnificent offensive seasons. Of course, Chumley plays such a big role in this offense because she hits behind Nicole Edmondson, who teams are starting to pitch around her.
And I think that's big, the mindset that Chumley has to have, knowing that she has to be on. If not, they'll just walk Edmondson and get to her. So speaking to Coach earlier this week, that was one thing that Chumley really has to just hone in on, having that mindset of being aggressive in the box and protecting Edmondson.
That's a pop-up to short. Aubrey Evans is there, makes the catch for the second out here in the third inning. So Chumley's retired. And that'll bring up Gabby David to the plate. And Nicole Edmondson coming into this ball game has been walked 21 times. Not the team leader, but McLaren has walked 32 times. Great job out of the leadoff spot for the Hatters. David now at the plate. Hits it up the middle. Humphreys tried to get there, couldn't. And it gets into center field for a hit. Single for David, 2 on 2 out here for Stetson in the third.
And David just staying up middle on this pitch. And Humphrey just coming up short on fielding that ball. And now it's first and second with 2 outs.
Just out of her reach. Nadia English will come to the plate. Liner to third, there's Jaimez making the catch. Side retired. Hatters get a couple of hits, but strand them both. Head to the bottom of the third. Knights still looking for the first hit. Crew and Alex there, one of them there. And Berkeley, you got more on Alex in the grounds crew.
Yes, so he is UCF's beloved groundskeeper here for the softball team. He grew up an FSU fan thanks to his mom and stepdad. His family loved the softball team and admired Devin Flaherty and how she played the game. They admired Devin so much that they named their daughter after her. Years later, little Devin and Flaherty got to meet while she was playing for the Monarchs this summer here at the Plex. Alex said Flaherty has been incredible with little Devin. As soon as they met, she scooped my daughter up and they went and played catch, and I even got to talk to Flaherty, and she gushed about how much she loves little Devin. She said, it's definitely one of those things that puts everything into perspective, and it reminds you how important relationships are. You guys know Devin Flaherty. I mean, I think it's super sweet and being a role model just like that.
Very nice there as Coco Jaimez is at the plate. Jada, you played against Devin Flaherty.
Yes, and it really just shows the type of player that Devin is, a great person, and it's more than just the game for her, and empowering the young girls. And being that Devin spelled her name differently and they spelled it the correct way, the same way as Devin, I think that's even more special that they even named their daughter after her.
Meanwhile, Coco Jaimez reaches, is that chopper there to Garcia. Couldn't get Coco, and the Knights have their first base runner of the ball game.
And Coco just using her speed to get down the line, and the first hit of the game for the Knights, and trying to turn it over for them, and Calvis coming up and seeing if they can continue to put pressure on the Hatters defense today.
Zoe Calvez will come to the plate following the single in by Jaimez. Tries the bunt, gets it down, bare hand, throw to first in time. Nice job there by Bauer, the young freshman catcher, to get Calvis at first base, but does advance Calvis to Jaimez to second base with one out.
And Calvis just passing the bat, just doing whatever it takes to get Jaimez in scoring position, and that's what the offense needs today, of just passing the bat and getting one run across right now to even up the game right now to a 1-1 game.
And Coach Ball Malone's going to go to the bench. It's going to go to her weapon. Kendall Yarnell will pinch hit here for Irvin. Remember, keep in mind, Irvin catching. One of the things Coach Ball Malone can do now here is, if she wants to, is move Damon into the catching position, hit Yarnell and keep her in the DP spot, and figures this is the time to call up the sophomore from Kansas.
And that's what Coach Bear just does really well, of going to her bench and pulling someone from the bench, having Damon at DP right now and allowing her to be able to come stay in the game as the catcher, and then having Yarnell stay in as the DP. So many different options for Coach Bear when they have 28 players on the team that they can pull from. And it really shows they've used everyone on the bench and just continues to pull them. And that's what's going to allow them to have a deep run in postseason.
That's outside, 2-0 the count to Yarnell. Has a dozen home runs on the year coming in. Of course, had the most pinch hits last year in the Big 12 and most in UCF softball history in a single season. It's been starting a lot this year, but also can still come off the bench in certain matchups like today. Takes a strike there, and it's 2-1 the count here against Ava Braswell. So 2 balls and a strike to Yarnell. Takes their ball 3 to Yarnell, hitting .358 this year. As I mentioned, with the 12 home runs and 36 RBIs. 3-1 to count to Yarnell. That's outside ball 4 to walk to Yarnell, and I thought Braswell there was a little careful there with Yarnell. Kind of an intentional walk there with the open base at first.
She might have known how well Yarnell is coming off the bench. She is a hot hitter coming off the bench as well. And that's a hard position to be in, coming off the bench and staying hot, but having that mindset that I didn't start this game, but Coach Barrett can pull me in at any count, any position. And so I think Yarnell does a great job, and that's why she has so many different roles for the team.
Ray hits it right back to Braswell, who threw to first in time to get Samantha Ray. I think Braswell thought about a moment there, maybe going to third or second, but decided to take the shore out at first base. So runners now at second and third with 2 outs for the senior Aubrey Evans. So now here's Evans with 2 on, 2 out. Takes a ball there, 1-0 the count. And I think part of the strategy there by Braswell and Coach Cousins too is Ray more of a slap hitter versus Yarnell, who can hit one out of the park, so be a little extra careful. Just like right now, they're being a little extra careful with Aubrey here with 2-0 count.
Especially just knowing Evans swinging a hot bat right now, coming alive in the middle of the season, and she's doing a great job seeing the ball well and being patient, and then getting her pitch and getting her swing off.
Aubrey hits it up the middle and through, base hit. Calvis is going to score. Yarnell is going to score. It's a 2-out, 2 RBI single for the senior Aubrey Evans, who gives the Knights a 2-1 lead here in the third.
And Evans just doing a great job staying up the middle, having the UCF offense scoring 2 runs on that 1 hit. And just her experience as a senior coming alive in this game. And it's just showing she's getting better each game. And it's her senior season, and she's just doing a great job of turning the bat over, knowing that Izzy is behind her.
Izzy swings and misses their 0-1 the count. 31 RBIs now for Aubrey Evans on the year. Career hit number 186 for Aubrey Evans, 14 away from becoming the 13th Knight in program history to reach the 200-hit milestone. That's high. My broadcast partner, you are one of those 12 currently. Shannon Doherty was the last one to join. You edged her out by a few games. Look at that strength by the Knights there. But one of the things Coach Paul Malone and the staff worked on this offseason was manufacturing runs better. Felt they hadn't done that very well the last couple of years. There was an example there of manufacturing a run, sacrifice, walk, timely hitting.
And I think clutch hitting is so big with the UCF offense of doing whatever it takes. Jaime's getting on, and Calvez just sacrificing herself, allowing that run to get to 2 and putting that runner in scoring position.
Mertez with a single up the middle. Evans stops at second. And Izzy Mertez with a single, and it's 2 on, 2 out for the Knights here in the third.
And Izzy wants a piece of that as well, just staying up the middle. Both Evan and Mertez staying through the outside pitch and just going up the middle, not doing too much on that pitch, knowing that they can go for the long ball, but just doing whatever it takes to pass the bat right now in the 3rd inning.
Damon coming to the plate. The 2 on, 2 out here in the 3rd. Braswell delivers. The strike, 0-1 here to Beth Damon. So the Knights, who had not had a hit coming into this inning, has recorded 3 hits and taken a 2-1 lead. Damon muscles one into right, but he'll stay in the park as Napoli is there, will make the catch to retire the side. Knights, though, take the lead on the 2 RBI single by Aubrey Evans. We hope to be joined by Stetson head coach Shelly Cousins when we return here in Orlando.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Allow yourself to tune out. To tune into nature. To tune in to the outdoors. To tune in to what matters. Discover Lake County, Florida. Learn more at discoverlakefl.com.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Have you ever wondered if there was a place where access to excellence isn't guarded by ivy, but open to all who strive for greatness? Where education leads to more than a degree. It opens a door to a career and a better life. Where imagination ignites invention and innovation, and the boundaries between science and creativity converge. That place is here, the University of Central Florida, a place for those who dare to invent the future.
Welcome back. We're now honored to be joined now by Stetson head coach Shelly Cousins. And Coach, Ava Braswell, just talk about what you've seen from her. I think she's throwing the ball really well for you against this talented UCF lineup.
Yeah, she's been very efficient. Tough there. They got a big hit with 2 outs, but she's been very efficient the first time through, so liking what we see for sure.
Yes, and Coach, coming out hot, your team scoring the first run of the game. What have you liked with your team on both sides of the ball today in this game?
Yeah, we're getting some good barrels. I mean, obviously we're out hitting them 6-3. We just got to come up with that big hit. So we're getting people on, which I like. Now we just got to have somebody step up in a good spot here.
Very good discipline by you, staying focused while your players are trying to distract you there. If only you guys were looser, you know?
Yeah, we're pretty tight, so I got to loosen them up a little bit.
All right, Coach, appreciate you talking to us.
Thanks, guys.
Shelly Cousins joining us here. How about that, Jada? They're just trying to mess with her there during the in-game interview there.
Just have to stay loose.
They are definitely that. They will start here at the top of the 4th with Gabby Bauer to lead it off. Sonoraki to follow, and Napoli 7-9 against Lena Elkins here at the top of the 4th. Elkins, first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Of course, these two programs have a lot of history. They played each other in the 2014 regionals in Gainesville twice. Stetson won the Friday game coming from behind to get to the winner's bracket. The Knights, though, would get revenge, eliminating the Hatters. They just swing and a miss there to count as 0-2 in the elimination game, where Mariah Garcia made a catch near the warning track with Stetson 2 on 2 out in the 7th inning. Knights win that game to advance to the regional final, where they would end up losing to the eventual national champion Florida Gators that year. That's probably the most famous matchups from a postseason standpoint with these two teams. Meredith Owen was the Hall of Famer. Stetson Athletic Hall of Famer was on that team, two-way player for the Hatters. Mackenzie Audis and Shelby Turner, the two shake and bake combo for the Knights. The two UCF Athletic Hall of Famers in that matchup. The 1-2. The ground ball to first. Griffin is there to retire Bauer for the first out here in the 4th inning. But certainly probably the most memorable matchup, at least recent history, in the regular season took place last year, Jada, where Stetson in DeLand jumped out to an 11-0 lead in the first couple of innings. Knights were down 11-0 in the 3rd inning, would chip away, and come all the way back to win it 14-13 on a 3-run homer by Griffin. As that ball goes over the head of Jaimez, Aubrey is there but will have no play. And Sonoraki will get on with 1 out here for the Hatters in the 4th.
Sonoraki just doing a great job of just passing the bat, what Coach had talked about, of something they just need a clutch hit, out hitting the offense right now in the Knights offense.
Sonoraki gets on here with 1 out. That'll bring up Napoli to the plate. But a 2-on, 2-out, 2-strike pitch to Griffin, who hit a 3-run homer to give the Knights a 14-13 lead. Stetson mounted a comeback at the bottom of the 7th, but the Knights were able to hold them off and win it 14-13, and in one of the craziest games ever. That ball is fouled. Talking to both coaches, they still can't believe it. I think that took them a while to recover from that one.
Games against Stetson, the midweek games, it's a different type of feel. Knowing both Florida teams, you never know what you're going to get in each game. Each year it happens. You play each other in the fall, play each other in the spring.
Napoli fouls it off. The senior. Mentioned the last 3 meetings between these two teams have come down literally to the last at-bat. Last year, of course, the Knights holding on. 2 years ago, UCF held on here to a 1-run win where Stetson had the go-ahead run on base in the top of the 7th here. And then the 0-2 here is slapped to Evans, caught, throw to first as the runner gets back. Nice play by Aubrey as Napoli is retired for the 2nd out here in the 4th inning. And of course, 2023, Stetson came back from a 2-run deficit to walk off the Knights in Deland in 2023. So the point is, stick around. These two teams don't play boring games. McLaren to the plate now. The strike, it's 0-1 the count here. Back to the top of the order for the Hatters. Of course, these two teams so explosive this year offensively. Stetson has set the school record already with home runs, with 63 on the year. That's right. They've hit them also grand slams, most grand slams in a single season for a Stetson team.
And I think that just shows on both sides of what the coaches are trying to develop on both sides of the team, of being explosive, being known for their offense. And just Stetson having 63 home runs, and then UCF offense as well having 57. It's just showing what they're trying to develop. They're trying to be known for their offense, not just defense, not just pitching, but all around. And that's going to get them to postseason and continue to grow, continue to go to regional, super regionals, into the World Series. And that's what it takes to go to the World Series, of having all 3 factors when it comes to that.
Ball and 2 strikes the count. It's outside 2-2, and that's something that Coach Cousins wanted, more power in her lineup and offensively. For many years, Jada, when you played them, they were about that short game and speed and slapping, but they didn't have the power. That is something that Coach Cousins has brought with her recruiting and development. As the count is 2-2 here to McLaren. Swung on and fouled tip there. To stay alive, does McLaren. 1 on and 2 out. Of course, they play at Patricia Field, one of the boards that's been recognized as among the best fields in college softball. When the wind blows out the hole, it turns into a home run derby over there. That's what happened last year. 2-2 the count. That's hit to the right side, foul. What's it like playing at that Patricia Field there?
The fields are really nice. The field is really nice over there, but it can become a home run derby over there. The wind definitely blows, especially left field, just the way the field is sitting. But great grass, great dirt, and it's like the stadium, how it's kind of set up.
Ball hit to third. Jaimez to first in time to retire the side. Nice job by Elena Elkins. Retires the Hatters here in the 4th. We'll hear from UCF head coach Cindy Ball Malone when we return here from Orlando. Hatters. We're now joined by UCF head coach Cindy Ball Malone. And coach, I want to ask about Lena Elkins, who was magnificent in Tempe in relief, getting the ball here and really doing a good job for your team. What are you seeing from her?
Yeah, I mean, she's just sticking to her plan, using both sides of the plate and her off speed and just using her defense. So she's doing a good job.
Yes, and Coach, I saw you had talked to the hitters before the bottom of the third, and it was like a light switch went off. What was that conversation to the hitters?
Yeah, our goal was just to make her throw more pitches, and then if we're going to go, we're going to go, right? We hadn't squared a ball up yet, and slappers are going to use the ground, and then our big hitters, they don't need to beat out a ground ball. So.
All right, Coach, appreciate you talking to us.
All right, thanks. Go Knights.
Cindy Ball Malone joining us. What'd you make of what you had to say there? You know that conversation very well. I'm sure you had a few back in your day.
I think she said exactly what they needed to do. The power hitters not using the ground, so not hitting ground balls, and that's what they did. Aubrey Evans staying up the middle, and then for slappers, Jaimez using the ground, bouncing the ball, and letting her speed get her down first base, and they're doing exactly that.
Sierra Humphreys is scheduled to lead it off here. It'll be Humphreys, followed by Griffin and Jaimez, 5, 6, 7 for the Knights here. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for UCF. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for Stetson in this ball game. Ava Braswell actually no longer in the game, now giving way to the new pitcher, Kennedy Temples, for the Hatters. The lefty. First pitch, ball 1.
And Temple's going to be north and south and then more arm side as well. She's going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s. So really a different angle for the Knights offense, keeping them off balance, being that it is 2-1, a different look from a different side, being that she is a lefty pitcher.
Humphreys takes a strike. A ball and a strike to Sierra Humphreys. 11 homers, 48 RBIs coming into this ball game. For Cece, as they call her. There's her nickname. Humphreys, slow grounder to Garcia. Garcia has to hurry, throw to first, not in time. Humphreys beats it out, gets an infield hit here to start the Knights' 4th inning.
And Humphreys just doing something different, knowing that she is a big hitter, but she can also use her speed to go down first and just doing a great job of just passing the bat, doing whatever it takes to have a leadoff runner on.
Humphreys now 3 hits away from career hit 150. Second all-time in UCF currently in batting average, 349 in her career. As Griffin takes a strike, 0-1 the count for Stephanie Best, UCF Athletic Hall of Famer. The all-time leader in that category, but Humphreys is up there in many offensive categories in her career. She's standing at first base, where she's 8 for 10 this year in steals, led the team in steals last year. Does not go, bluffs as Griffin showed bunt, takes back ball 1, 1-1 the count from Ashley Griffin, who all of a sudden, Jada, hitting 278, has 28 RBIs after that slow start in the year.
And I think that's just something Griffin knows how to do so well of the second part of the season, conference play, and in postseason of kind of turning it on. Slow start to her senior year, but kind of when it matters most for them in the middle of the season as well as going into postseason of kind of doing whatever it takes and kind of climbing up right now in the lineup as well.
There goes Humphreys. Throw to second is safe. Humphreys avoids the tag. On the throw there by the catcher for the Hatters in Bauer. And Humphreys is in score position with a 1-2 down count to Griffin.
And Humphrey just having a swim move, dive, doing whatever it takes to be safe. Bauer having a great throw on that and just coming up short of getting Humphreys out.
So now Griffin fouls it off. Humphreys now with her 9th steal of the year. Just a 5-tool player, Jay, for Sierra Humphreys.
Just all-around player.
1-2 the count to Griffin, the senior captain. Reaches for it, hits a slow grounder to third. It'll be a throw to first in time. Nice job by English. And a big out there as Humphreys had to hold at second base. So Griffin retired on the ground out, 5-3 with 1 out now here in the 4th. That's big because not only the out, but Humphreys couldn't advance there, so she has to stay at second with one out. For Coco Jaimes, who singled the first hit for the Knights back in the third inning and scored in that inning. That was the first hit for the Knights in the ball game. His first pitch for a ball, 1-0 the count. Hatters coming charging in there defensively there against Jaimes.
And I think just the Hatters defense, knowing that Jaimes is a triple threat. She can lay down a bunch, she can slap it, she can power slap it. And knowing that there is a runner at 2 right now, kind of having to defend her in all aspects right now.
Takes a strike there, and it's 1-1 the count. There you look at the Hatter defense here, Jada. A little bit of a shift there in the outfield.
And left field and right field is playing, they're kind of shifted over more, knowing that Jaimes, if she is going to slap it to the left field, it's going to be in that area. And then right field, just on if it's a missed pitch, she's there to kind of defend Jaimes as well. So a slap D kind of perspective. And you kind of have to just defend all if she's going to hit it to left field, but also if it's a missed pitch and she can kind of pull it to right field.
2-1 pitch. Jaimes pops it up to left, shallow, but coming in, making the catch for the out. There, they played her perfectly there, Chumley. 2 gone here in the 4th. So back-to-back outs recorded by Temples. And they'll face Zoe Calvez to the plate now. With Humphrey standing at second base and 2 outs, Calvez had the sacrifice bunt in that 3rd inning. So Temples, the lefty, coming in for Braswell, the righty. No surprise. The first pitch for a ball. Of course, they got Haley Arnold here still available too. She could come in and close for Stetson. Of course, Stetson's played Florida twice in the midweeks. 1-0 here to Calvez. This is their 2-0 the count to Zoe Calvez. Zoe, the West, played at high school at West Orange High School here in the area. Takes a strike, 2-1 the count. Facing now, trying to do here with Humphreys at second right there. Infield single, Stoll second. It's been standing there after a ground out and a pop-up. Calvez takes ball 3, 3-1 the count now to Zoe Calvez. If Calvez were to extend the inning and reach, Kendall Yarnell would hit. There she is right there on deck. Got the shadow to deal with. That's inside, ball 4, and Calvez draws the walk. 2 on, 2 out here for the Knights in the 4th. Good at bat for Zoe.
And Calvez just doing a great job her first at bat, having a sack bunt, and then now being patient and allowing her to be walked, being that it's first and second with 2 outs, and Yarnell coming up, being that she is a hot hitter.
Yarnell walked in the 3rd inning and scored on the Aubrey Evans base hit. That one is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Now we'll see here if they pitch to Yarnell. That one was way outside. We'll see if this one's outside as well or not. Nope, it goes inside. So there you go, challenging Yarnell there, 1-1. Game on, says Temples. So 1-1 the count. The right-handed hitting Yarnell. Went outside off speed, 2-1.
And Temples right now is just trying to find a way for Yarnell to get herself out, of knowing that it is first and second with 2 outs, kind of working both sides of the plate with her off-speed pitch.
2-1 pitch. She challenges Yarnell, fouls it off to the right side, and it's 2-2. So they're mixing it away and inside on her.
just keeping her off balance. They figured that's the best way to have Yarnell get herself out, challenge her in, as well as keeping the ball outside with the off-speed pitch, having Yarnell guessing what's coming next.
Two and two the count. 2 on, 2 out here in the fourth. Yarnell hits it down the line, off the bag. That's a fair ball. Fair ball. Humphreys is going to score. They're going to send Calvez. She's going to score on a 2 RBI, 2-strike double by Kendall Yarnell as the Knights extend the lead to 4-1.
And Temple's just coming in again on Yarnell, and Yarnell doing whatever it takes to get on, with it being a two-run RBI and a stand-up double for Yarnell.
Got the line there, doubled. Sammy Ray will hit here. Knights extending the lead to 4-1. Yarnell now up to 38 RBIs on the year. Takes a strike, and there is a case where they're trying to go away and inside, but I think Temple's pitch didn't go inside enough, and Yarnell made him pay.
And the way that Yarnell was late on that outside pitch, I wonder if she was sitting something in and she was able to get her hands extended, especially knowing that Temple is a lefty and she can come in with a pitch going running into Yarnell.
Ball and a strike to Ray, with Yarnell at second base. The 1-1 pitch. That's low for a ball. 2-1 now. The count to Samantha Ray, the junior. Is a big San Francisco Giants fan. Her sister plays at Weber State in her senior year over there, over in the Big Sky. And it was her sister that helped teach Samantha how to play the outfield. Samantha Ray came in as an infielder, second base, and shortstop. But as you know, Jada, and there was a lot of infielders to compete with, and they've moved her to the outfield, and she's turned into a stellar center fielder.
And I think that's something that Coach Beer loves, is just players that have the versatility of playing different positions, because it allows you to kind of open up and be savvy on how you're placing players. If you have a player that needs to be in the lineup, you can kind of put them in the outfield. And I think Ray did a great job of having a lot of infielders when she came in her freshman year and developing in the outfield, and her sister being a testament to that and using that. I think that's a big part of her game.
There you see Yarnell was talking to Coach Paul Maloney. Look at the RBI leaders for the Knights. Humphreys with 48, Mertez 44, Damon with 40, and Yarnell with 38. The Night Riders, as some have called them. Those four been producing runs all year. As Ray drills one into right field. That ball's going to be a fair ball. Fair ball. Yarnell will score easily. Ray will go hit standing RBI triple by Samantha Ray, showing her power to give the Knights a 5-1 lead.
And Samantha Ray just going up on this pitch, beating the Hatters' defense. They were shaded over for a slap for Ray, and her being able to read that and be able to go to right field on that allowed her to have that stand-up triple on that play.
She crushed that ball right field, beat the shift, and gets an easy if there's such a thing as an easy RBI triple for Ray to give the Knights a 5-1 lead. Aubrey Evans at the plate. And again, Yarnell driving into 2 runs.
And I think with that slapper shift, that's one of the things that there is pros to it.
Evans just gets under it, hits a fly ball to left field. It's carried, but it will stay in the park as the catch is made by Chumley. We'll talk more about that shift you're talking about, Jada. But the Knights add 3 runs in the inning. 2 RBI hit by Yarnell, the RBI triple by Ray.
Fast. To stand out here, you need bold ideas, local power, and a team that represents this city. From corporate partnerships to donor opportunities and direct athlete collaborations, we'll help you build a sponsorship game plan that drives impact. UCF Athletics in your business. Let's charge on together.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Goes Calvis, throw to bring it a run. We got a double. Big conference. You call it the third. Great defensive. Stucky in the second. In on the 12. Up.
Base runner.
Right coming off. There you see Garcia, who will lead it off here for the Hatters in the top of the 5th. Berkeley, you got more on her.
Yes, Ariana's dad, Giovanni, grew up in Puerto Rico and played baseball there. We all know that it's very competitive down there. He moved to St. Pete in high school, and he knew when he was going to have kids, he was going to coach both his kids in baseball, in softball, and teach them everything they know. Of course, being in St. Pete, they were big Tampa Bay Rays fans, and she said, I remember when I was little, I met Evan Longoria, and it was got to be one of the best experiences of my life, and I will always remember meeting him thanks to my dad.
First pitch to Garcia, lines a base hit into right field. Calvis will play it in, but a good start for the Hatters here in the 5th inning with Garcia. As you look at the photo, Garcia with the family there at the Rays game. Boy, Garcia is such a great player, one of the top shortstops in the country defensively, gets a good hit here. She's on at first base for Nicole Edmondson. The junior steps in here. There's walked and singled. Gets a hit here with a chance to hit with one on, nobody out here against Elkins. That's up and in, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Look at her numbers right there. 28th in the country in hitting, 6th in home runs, 14th in RBIs. The 1-0. Lines it foul down to right field. Count is 1-1. What jumps out to you about Nicole here, seeing her kind of approach?
How aggressive she is, but she's looking for a certain pitch. I feel like she really likes that outside pitch, kind of honing in on that pitch. It looks like that's her go-to pitch when she's coming up to the box.
Elkins on the 1-1. It's a strike, it's 1-2. Again, the Stetson school record for single season home runs is 20. One and two the count here. Elkins delivers on the 1-2. Got her! Big strikeout for Elkins as she gets Edmondson for a huge strikeout. One gone here in the 5th.
And Elkins just relying on her off-speed pitch on that, and that just really shows how well her off-speed pitch is when she has great command. And getting that strikeout against Edmondson is really big, being that it is a runner at one out now.
Chumley swings away and fouls it off. She hits with 1 on, 1 out here in the 5th inning for Amber Chumley. Lena Elkins, of course, came over from Charlotte a couple years. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Humphreys is going to go to second, not handled by Evans, and everybody's safe. Humphreys tried to get the lead runner out at second, but it's 2 on, 1 out for the Hatters here in the 5th.
And Humphrey just trying to go to Evans on that play and just hitting the runner on that play. Now 1st and 2nd with 1 out.
Just kind of an awkward angle for either way. If you try to go to 1st or 2nd, just either way, we're going to make an awkward play. And it's a fielder's choice. Chumley's on, 2 on, 1 out. First pitch, a strike. It's 0-1 the count to Gabby David. But I think Sierra was kind of there in no man's land, no matter what. It'd be an awkward throw at first, awkward throw at second. Thought, could get her at second. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2. Knight's bullpen is up. So is the Hatters. Arnold was warming up earlier for the Hatters. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout there for Elkins as she gets David 2 gone here in the 5th.
And Elkins again coming with that off-speed pitch, expanding the zone, and having David just swinging on that pitch for a strikeout. And you can just see Elkins getting better in the circle as time goes on, as the inning goes on, and her off-speed really developing throughout the game.
Nadia English at the plate. Right-handed hitter takes ball 1. 1-0 the count to English. English 0 for 2 here tonight. Swings, hits a ground ball. Humphreys is there. Scoop to Evans, inning over. Nice job by Humphreys there. That was took a wicked hop there, but easily made the play. Hatters strain a couple. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Knights still up 5-1. You know very well, Jada. We got Thor was there moments ago, playing with his friends. And then, of course, we have Osprey, the Osprey, and his home there. That's season tickets there, I think.
Season tickets. They've been building that nest for years.
No shade there, though. Although maybe, maybe at a certain angle, maybe you do have some shade. Izzy Mertez takes a strike. It'll be Mertez to lead it off, followed by Beth Damon and Sierra Humphreys. Heart of the order for the Knights here against Temple. Haley Arnold in the 3rd Hatter pitcher in the ball game, the sophomore. Kind of foreshadowed that in the last half inning. And Mertez hits one to right, but the catch is made by Napoli. And Mertez is retired for the first out here in the home half of the 5th. So good start there for Haley Arnold, the sophomore. Making the play there was Napoli, and no surprise that Coach Cousins going by committee against this talented UCF lineup.
I think you have to just going against this offense of kind of switching it up, so the Knights offense, they aren't getting comfortable off their these pitchers, and so Arnold's a different look.
That one hits Damon. That's nothing new. Damon gets hit by the pitch there, and she gets on with 1 out.
And Beth Damon she is used to hit by pitches.
They're going to pinch run for Damon here. Ayala Durant is going to pinch run. The young freshman will pinch run here with Humphreys coming to the plate. and 1 out. There you see Humphreys, who singled and scored back in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 today for Humphreys. Arnold delivers. Here's a strike. Of course, the Hatters will be home this weekend in A-Sun play against West Georgia. Very critical A-Sun series the rest of the way for Stetson. There's the 0-1 pitch. Humphreys drills one to deep right field, but a nice catch made by Napoli. Good job by her. She's a great glove. Coach Cousins talked about her defensively and the range that she has, and she showed it there, making the catch on the Humphreys fly ball for the 2nd out.
And Napoli just going all out, jumping play, and that could potentially score Durant if she doesn't catch that ball. So really just protecting her pitcher, new pitcher on the mound, but doing whatever it takes to keep this UCF offense from scoring.
Griffin at the plate. Takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. Of course, that series with West Georgia, Victor Anderson, our good friend, will be calling that series over in DeLand. Of course, they'll go to Jacksonville following that. Jacksonville currently tied with Stetson in the division lead. Erica Ayers is having a nice year with the Dolphins. And then Stetson will finish the regular season against Florida Gulf Coast at home before the A-Sun tournament, which we played in Jacksonville, the home of UNF, the defending conference champions. 2-0 the count to Griffin. That's a strike. One thing that jumps out to me here, Jade, I know you played against Stetson early throughout your career. This seems like the most athletic Stetson roster. Don't you agree that Coach Cousins has had built here? Credit, we talked about the development of the hitters, but they're also athletic from their standpoint here. That's a ball 3-1.
And I think that just shows Coach really of what she's been recruiting recently, of getting athletic players. You have multiple players, especially in the outfield, that play multiple positions. And I think that's big of having depth when it comes to versatility from each player. But it also shows of Napoli making that play, and that's big for the pitchers as well. So I think Coach is doing a great job recruiting and getting those players that are athletic but also have speed and have power.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Ashley Griffin. Griffin hits it to Garcia. Will throw to first in time to retire Griffin and the Knights here in the 5th. Knights strand 1. We're through 5 complete. Knights with a 5-1 lead here on a Wednesday night in Orlando. Some birds flying in the area here on this Wednesday evening here at the complex. Number 22 ranked UCF with a 5-1 lead over Stetson. Pinch hitter for the Hatters here. Mason Barclay will pinch hit here for Gabby Bauer in the 7th spot in the lineup. The junior will lead it off here against Lena Elkins, and I think Coach Cousins just trying to give Elkins a different look here.
Yes, and Barclay, one thing that Coach had spoke to us about this week was that Barclay is just a big swinger and she won't go down looking. So having a different look, being that it is 5-1, wanting something different for this Hatter offense, starting it off.
First pitch, just like you said right there, swinging there, fouled it off.
Swinging, just aggressive.
0-1 the count. Knight's bullpen is up. Isabella Vega up and warming up for the first time tonight. The Knights with a 5-1 lead here in the 6th inning. Elkins, the 0-1. Check swing, that's popped into center. Ray, though, under it, makes the catch for the out. One gone here in the 6th. So Barclay there just wasn't sure on that. And you know that's when Elkins, you know, has got good stuff when the hitters are kind of check swinging there.
Just guessing, not knowing if to fully commit or not.
Sonoraki now at the plate. Madeline, the junior out of Willow Spring, North Carolina. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0 the count. First the Knights bullpen up because this is the longest outing for Elkins up to this season. The 1-0. She jams her, pops it up to second. Humphreys is there, makes the catch. Madeline's retired, 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. But what we've seen here from Elkins, Jada, going back to the Utah series, you and I covered that with Alex. Pitched magnificent in the Saturday game that we called. That was a 2-2 tie. That game is not a, UCF probably loses that game if it wasn't for Elkins.
And I think she's just getting confidence now in the middle of the season with the Utah series, as well as going to Arizona State. Bases loaded, no outs, and getting out of that jam. So you can definitely see that she's having a confidence booster right now, and it's going to be very important for the UCF pitching staff of Elkins having the experience, a senior on the mound. So I think it's going to be very important for Elkins to continue her confidence and her streak that she's having today and the rest of the season.
The strike there to Napoli. The count is a ball and a strike. Of course, UCF this weekend will be home here against Kansas, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's senior weekend?
Already?
Really?
Right.
What happened?
I felt like it was too soon.
What? 1-1. Low 2-1. It's unique because it's early, because next weekend UCF will have a home and home against Florida because they're on the bye week in the Big 12. Florida happens to be on the bye week in their SEC play, so they'll play a home and home. And then UCF will go on the road to Iowa State to finish the regular season. 2-1 pitch. Napoli takes a strike. It's 2-2, but always special. Senior weekend, I know for you, that was very emotional against Oklahoma. A lot of rockets on that one. Not sure the senior ceremony will be as long this year as that one was. I think that one's still going on.
A lot of seniors.
2-2 check swing foul. What was it, 11?
Yes, it was
players?
a lot.
And then that's not including, like, I think we had other people we honored there. I don't know, it was a lot.
Because of the COVID year, so there was a lot of seniors being recognized.
Historic. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul down to left field. I think you had a base hit in your last at-bat in that Oklahoma game, right?
I'm pretty sure I might have.
I know Doherty hit the home run that Bobby Malone caught. That was back in 2024. So many memorable senior moments, senior weekends throughout the year. It'll be special this weekend. We'll have all 3 games, UCF, Kansas. Big series, big Big 12 implications in that series. 2-2. Missed their 3-2. Kansas will come into the weekend 3rd in the Big 12. They're playing Missouri tonight. That's a big rivalry match up there, the Tigers and the Jayhawks. They have an explosive offensive team themselves, with Ella Boyer might be the Big 12 Freshman of the Year frontrunner for the Jayhawks. Napoli hits it to left. Mertes making the catch. Great to see Izzy there, healthy and smiling at left field. A 1-2-3 inning for Elkins and the Knights. Sends us to the bottom of the 6th. Jade, I don't know if you like to fish or not, but apparently you can fish out here.
You know, I've only been fishing a few times, but some of the girls on UCF team, they actually love fishing in that pond.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know this.
Taylor Kittleman, Aubrey, Ashley, a few of them.
Who's the best fisherman?
I want to say probably either Kittleman or Evans.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of the 6th. Coco Jaimes to lead it off here against Arnold. Takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for UCF. 1 run, 8 hits, no errors for the Stetson Hatters. Hatters took a 1-0 lead in the first. Knights scored 2 in the third on a 2 RBI single by Aubrey Evans and scored 3 in the fourth. A 2 RBI double by Kendall Yarnell. Highlighting there, Samantha Ray RBI triple. That's where we stand now. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Knights. They've left 4 on base. Stetson, 1 run, 8 hits. They've left 8 on base. 2-0 the count to Jaimes. Takes a strike, 2-1. What's been your thoughts on Coco playing your old position there at third base?
I think her and Cece kind of switching. Coco playing second last year, now playing third, but doing a great job. Third base is not an easy position, but I think she's holding it down well and just figuring out what she needs to be the best third baseman for the UCF defense.
3 balls and a strike to count to Coco Jaimes against Arnold. Jaimes slices it foul down to left field. And it counted 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count to Jaimes. Will be followed by Zoe Calvis and then Kendall Yarnell. As you see the shift here by the Hatters.
And this is something that the Hatters, when the slappers are up, they kind of shift. The left fielder goes towards the line and the center fielder moves over. And there's pros and cons to that, as you saw against Ray Ray.
Ground ball to second as Jaimes retires. 4-3 on the ground out. What's your thoughts on the shift? That's been a part of softball now. Baseball obviously was ahead of the curve on that. But now we're seeing it more in softball.
I think the coach really has to trust the pitcher, because if you miss pitch, the lefty can really pull a pitch, and you kind of saw it on Samantha Ray of having to stand up triple because the right fielder was out of place. They were kind of shifted to the middle gap, and so there's pros and cons. If the slapper is hitting the ball to left field and you see their spray that way, then it's effective, but you also have the pitcher that could potentially miss, and it's a triple, or most of the time, sometimes it's inside the park home run as well.
Zoe Calvis at the plate with a 1-0 count here, the bottom of the 6th. as Calvis takes high 2-0. Berkeley, you got more here on Zoe.
Yeah, so we know that, her mother, Felicia Williams, was an FSU alumni, and she was the biggest influence to Zoe when it came to softball. She said, I'm grateful for my mom. She instilled toughness in me from day one. I got into pro swings because of her and met Stephanie Best. She said it's even pretty full circle that Alex Powers is on the broadcast team here, considering that both she and my mom played for FSU.
Well, first of all, I did not know this, Berkeley. You're breaking news to me. So not everybody knew that. Felicia Williams, there you see right there. Outfielder at Florida State. I did not know that. That's a did you know? Berkeley stumping me here. Congrats, Berkeley. That's a rare thing.
Wow, Berkeley. Elo knows everything.
Well, see, Berkeley's working hard. Berkeley's getting all the news, man.
Okay.
I didn't even know that. I don't know if Alex knew that either. We'll have to test Alex when she gets back this weekend. 3 balls and a strike. Calvis loops one into left, foul. Count is 3-2. I know people have asked Alex Powers on assignment, working with the ACC network, doing some studio work. Something you've gotten to do this year as part of the UCF softball pre-games there with hitting the field.
ACC network.
It's kind of a big deal.
Alex, right. Yeah. Big deal.
Yeah, been there the last couple of nights. ACC programming. That's a ball 4. And Calvis draws a 1-out walk. All right, Jada, we train you. We'll get you out there to national there, maybe at studio at some point down the road, following big footsteps. Realize we had Francesca Aneo, who did regionals nationally. Television, of course, went into coaching now in Florida. And, of course, Alex Powers, who does national work for ACC Network. And so that's where you're sitting right now.
So it sounds like you're a great person to teach.
Thank you.
And learn from.
Oh, wow. You're so nice, Jada. We need to bring you on more often.
Okay,
Appreciate the kind words. I'm not sure I'll take the credit for those talented young ladies and their hard work, but I appreciate it.
I see. Okay. I see where I can go. Sitting next to you.
0-1 pitch is a strike. The key is I just surround myself with talented people, so they make me look good, so I can stick around.
Sports Wikipedia, the front to back. Everyone's stats.
0-2 the count here to Yarnell, who had that 2 RBI double off the third base bag back in the 4th inning. That was a big hit in this ball game that extended the Knights' lead at the time to 4-1. He's had 38 RBIs on the year. The Knights are on the verge of having 4 Knight players in the same season drive in 40 runs or more. That has never happened in any season. This is the 25th season of UCF softball. That has never happened. The 0-2. Yarnell pops it up as Madeline makes the catch. 2 gone here in the 6th inning. In fact, Humphreys, who has 48 RBIs to lead the team, if she drives in 2 more runs this year, she'll get to that 50 RBI mark. Only 2 UCF players ever have driven in 50 runs or more, Jada. Who are those 2 players?
Who are those?
Samantha Ray at the plate. Takes the ball 1.
I know Stephanie Best.
Stephanie Best, who did it like a couple of times, but lost too many times to count. And, of course, the RBI queen right here, Jada Cody, set the record. 75 RBIs in 2022. All-American year. I think you were All-American, what, D1 softball America, people that knew what they were watching. 2-0 the count. Ray had the RBI triple back in the 4th, takes for a ball. 3-0 the count. But that's it. That's only been it. That's the company. It tells you what a historic year. UCF on track to shatter so many offensive records this year. As Ray takes ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Ray. 2 on, 2 out for Aubrey Evans. And one of the keys to the success of this offense has been Noah Sanders in his 2nd year as the assistant helping running the offense.
And I think a big thing that Coach Sanders has done coming in.
There he is right there.
Is their mindset coming into the box of what are you going up there and attacking and sticking to your plan. And if your plan doesn't work, okay, we can fix it outside of the box. But when you're in the box, you're going to compete and you're going to fight pitch by pitch. And something that Coach Bear and Coach Sanders likes to say is that the pitcher has to beat you 3 times. You just have to beat the pitcher 1 time. So just having that mindset, I think it shows about the Knights offense and their numbers this season.
Aubrey fouls it off, and it's 0-2 the count to the senior, Evans, who had the 2 RBI single back in the 3rd inning, hitting with 2 on, 2 out here in the 6th. The 0-2. Got her. Good pitch from Arnold to get Evans to end the inning. Knights strand a couple. We're through 6 here in Orlando. Knights with a 5-1 lead. Annabella McLaren will lead it off, followed by Garcia. Then, of course, you know who, Nicole Edmondson, to hit against Lena Elkins here in the 7th inning. Knights with a 5-1 lead over the Hatters. McLaren here to lead it off. That's a ball. And that was a big out for Arnold to get Aubrey in the bottom half of the inning, because this is the most dangerous part of the Stetson lineup.
And I think this is big for the Hatters offense, knowing that this could potentially be their last 3 outs of this game. So the best part of their lineup to start the 7th inning and trying to figure out a way to attack Elkins to see if they can do something different. They figured her out in the 1st inning and kind of been quiet since then. So doing something different in the 7th inning is going to be key for them.
A ball and a strike to count. Misses there, 2-1 the count. Vega is warming up in the Knights bullpen. Should Elkins get in trouble, we might see Vega come in. The 2-1. That's up the middle and through, base hit. A single for McLaren to get the Hatters off here to a good start in the top of the 7th with a single.
And McLaren just doing a great job staying up middle on this pitch, passing the bat, knowing that they are 4 runs down right now and could be the potential of this game. So just passing the bat, not trying to do too much, and just getting on for her team.
Garcia now at the plate. First pitch. That is sliced into left center. That's going to drop for a hit. A single for Garcia, and it's 2 on, nobody out for the Hatters here in the 7th, with the most dangerous hitter in the park coming to the plate.
Garcia just following after McLaren of just passing the bat. Now it's 1st and 2nd with no outs, and their best hitter coming up to the plate.
Nicole Emmetston will get a chance to hit with 2 on, nobody out. The question is, who will she face? Because it looks like Coach Ball Malone's going to make a pitching change here. Elkins goes 6+ innings, was magnificent, but gives up a couple of hits here to start the 7th here for the Hatters. And I think Coach Paul Malone's going to go to the bullpen. Yep, there you see Isabella Vega. He's going to get her number called here for Elkins. We'll tell you more about Vega in the Knights when we return. Knights with a 5-1 lead, but Stetson Printing. Elkins, solid outing for the seniors, 6 innings. Gave up 10 hits, responsible for the 2 Hatters on base, but a good outing, deep outing here now, gives way to Isabella Vega as you look at her numbers this year.
And Isabella Vega just coming off hot with 15 wins and 5 losses, with her ERA being a 2.24. She's going to be different from Elkins. She's going to be up in the zone with her rise ball as well as her changeup. And coming in, Coach Bear just looking for Vega to close out this game and keep the Hatters from scoring, being that there is a runner at first and second with no outs, and the best part of their lineup is up right now.
Led by Nicole Edmiston. And Berkeley, you got more.
Yes, so she knows about the Florida pipeline and how super dominant it is from high school to junior college to even like all the way up to Division I. She knew that while growing up in Illinois, she wanted to end up playing here in Florida. She started out her college career at FSW, which, if you don't know, that's a very dominant junior college here in Florida. And people don't realize how much the junior college level here really prepares you for the talent at a 4-year school.
First pitch to Edmondson, inside ball 1. You're right. It's very talented schools, of course, that have developed players. There you see Nicole there at FSW, junior college. Chipola is another great school. College of Central Florida. Talent a lot here in the state. Meanwhile, Vega falling behind 2-0 here on Nicole Edmondson. Not the ideal start here, with 2 on, nobody out for the Hatters. The 2-0 from Vega. That missed, and it's 3-0. So 3-0 the count to Nicole Edmondson. As Vega delivers. That's high ball 4, and they're loaded. A 4-pitch walk. Bases are loaded with 1 out, with nobody out, excuse me. And an opportunity here for the Hatters with Chumley to the plate. So 2 singles and a walk here in the inning. And the Knights, let's see, the Hatters going to go with a pinch runner, looks like, at first base. So Vega now. Bases loaded with nobody out here in the 7th in a 4-run game. There you see the Hatters pinch runner. I always told you this was never going to come down to the wire, and always does with these 2 teams. First pitch from Vega. Fouled off. Count is 0-1. So 0-1 the count. Ty Bull at the pinch runner at first base for the Hatters. You see Chumley at the plate. Time call. Knights bullpen still up just for as well. Reagan Vacoon warming up. The 0-1 from Vega, and that's outside. It's 1-1 to count. Lisa still trying to figure out where the strike zone is a little bit. There you see Vacoon on the left, Macy Miles on the right. Sarah Willis there talking along with Caitlin Felton. 1-1 is fouled off, and it's 1-2 to Chumley. What are you seeing from Issa here?
She's just trying to figure out the strike zone right now, and I think just as season goes on, as well as her having more experience, being that she's only a redshirt sophomore, but coming in and kind of just being smoother when she comes in, I think that's going to be a big part for her growth as a player and as a pitcher of when her numbers call. She starts off hot when she starts, but when the Coach Bear calls her off the bench in the middle of the game, the end of the game, of having that same mentality as if she was starting, and I think that's going to be big just for her growth and development as a pitcher.
All right, now the count is full. 3-2 the count to Chumley here. Three-two pitch from Vega. The slow grounder to second. Humphreys will have one play to first. They get the out in Chumley. Both Hatter runners advance into scoring position. It's second and third with now one out here in the seventh.
And Humphreys just doing a great job of just getting an out, knowing that they only need 3 more outs prior to that, now and only 2 outs to kind of end this game and kind of stop the Hatters offense right now.
Now it's up to Gabby David, right-handed hitter. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off, and the count is 0-1. So 0-1 the count to David. There's a strike, and Vega's ahead 0-2. Vega, the 0-2. High, ball 1. First Vega pitched the complete game on Sunday in the win at Arizona State. Ball and 2 strikes to count here. That is hit foul. Tight ball game here, as you would expect, between the Hatters and the Knights. 3-run game here. With a 1-2 count forthcoming here. As they wait to get the ball. Tense moments here at the Plex. What do you think the players right now are talking there in the circle there?
Just staying loose, staying calm. The game's in their control still.
One and 2 the count. Missed there, 2-2. Try to get her to see if she would bite on that. She did not. With Gabby David. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shamder popped it up, going foul territory. Aubrey Evans comes all the way from short to make the catch. Big play by the senior captain Evans. And she read that all the way and retires David for the second out of the inning. Run scores on the play, it's 5-3.
And Evan just doing a great job tracking this ball. Her range is just so well. Going side to side and back on that. And knowing that the run score is still 3-5 and just getting outs, just collecting outs, knowing, having that mindset of just, they only need 1 more out to end the game.
Yeah, Knights would gladly trade the run there with the out. So now, runner at second, 2 outs, a 2-run game. And the first pitch is a ball. 1-0 the count to English. Nadia English with a runner at second and 2 outs here in the 7th in a 2-run ball game. The 1-0. That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Issa just using that inside pitch, that off-speed pitch, and really just owning the corners and having that command.
The 1-1 is foul back, and it's now ball and 2 strikes. Isabella Vega, redshirt sophomore. All Big 12 performer a year ago. With a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. English stays alive. For the junior out of Melbourne, Florida. On this beautiful Wednesday evening with a sunset. Watching very high-level softball here. 1-2. Fouled off again. English doing a nice job staying alive. Vega, 1-2. That's in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. And Damon now is going to come over and talk to Vega. What do you, as a former catcher, what do you think Beth is seeing there that she wants to talk to Issa about?
Just her changeup, but knowing that just having her laugh is important, knowing it's already 2 outs, and getting out of this. If a pitch is not working, you have other pitches to rely on. So I know they're just having a good time, just laughing, trying to keep Vega loose in this situation, knowing that the pressure is really not on Vega right now, and it's on the Hatters offense right now.
The 2-2 pitch. Got her! Went upstairs and challenged and gets English to end it. And the Knights win it 5-3 as the Knights improve to 33-11-1 on the year. The Hatters drop to 26-18 on the year. And for Isabella Vega, she gets the save, her 5th of the year, which ties her with Jamie Yavari for the most saves by any UCF pitcher in a single season. Jamie Yavari did it in 2016 with 5 saves, and now Issa joins that one with a tie. And boy, she had to earn it against a very good Stetson Hatter ball club that's going to be heard from and could make it to the regionals if they win the ASUN championship. Well-played ball game, as you would expect from these 2 well-coached teams. And the Knights, number 22, Jay, to find a way, and they hold on, they get the win.
Yes, and Elkin's doing a great job having confidence, having 6 innings with only 8 hits with 1 run. And I think just having that confidence coming in, and also Ray coming up with the triple and having a stand-up triple with an RBI, and as well as Yarnell having the double with the 2 runs, 2 RBI. So great job on both sides of the field with their pitching as well as UCF's offense.
Knights can now turn their attentions to a big showdown series against the Kansas Jayhawks in a Big 12 series with Big 12 conference ramifications and hosting ramifications for the Knights, who are still in the mix to host and continues that with a good win over Stetson. That'll do it from here in Orlando here on this Wednesday evening. Lucas Restrian producing, directing, Berkeley Mazzanotti sideline. For Jada Cody, I'm Eric Lopez saying so long from Orlando. Number 22 ranked UCF wins it over Stetson 5-3. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.